Shadowed Battlegrounds presents The Battle of the Bulge, Leap into the Abyss. December 16, 1944, Ardennes Forest, Belgium. John Jack Turner shivered in the bitter cold as he clung to the side of the C-47 transport plane. His breath misted in the frigid air, mixing with the tension and fear that hung thick among the paratroopers. The Battle of the Bulge had begun, and they were flying into the heart of chaos. Jack, a member of the 101st Airborne Division, clenched his fists to stop them from shaking. He had seen combat before, but nothing could prepare him for the unknown that awaited below. The red light inside the plane blinked on, signaling the time to jump. Jack took a deep breath, the weight of his gear pressing heavily against his body. He glanced at his best friend Tommy standing next to him and gave a nod. They were in this together. The green light flashed, and Jack moved to the door, feeling the rush of wind and the roar of the engines. Without hesitation, he leaped into the abyss. The freezing air hit him like a wall as he plummeted towards the ground. His parachute deployed with a jolt, and he floated down, the dense forest below growing closer with each second. Gunfire and explosions erupted all around, the sounds of war echoing through the night. Jack focused on landing, steering himself away from the trees. He hit the ground hard, rolling to absorb the impact. Quickly, he unbuckled his parachute and took cover behind a fallen log. The dark forest was alive with movement and noise, disorienting in the dim moonlight. He could hear shouts in German and the crackle of gunfire. Jack checked his weapon and scanned the area, trying to get his bearings. Tommy landed nearby, and the two reunited, their relief evident despite the dire situation. "We need to find the others," Tommy said, his voice steady despite the chaos. Jack nodded, and they moved cautiously through the underbrush, every shadow a potential enemy. The 101st Airborne had been tasked with holding the line against the advancing German forces. Jack knew the importance of their mission, but the reality of it was a nightmare. They stumbled upon a small group of their comrades, huddled in a makeshift defensive position. The lieutenant in charge gave them a quick briefing. They were to hold this position at all costs. Hours felt like days as the paratroopers defended their ground. The Germans attacked relentlessly, waves of infantry supported by tanks. Jack fired until his fingers were numb, the recoil of his rifle a constant companion. Men fell around him, friends he had trained and fought alongside. The ground was stained with blood, the air thick with smoke, and the acrid smell of gunpowder. During a brief lull in the fighting, Jack and Tommy shared a moment of respite. "We're gonna make it, Jack," Tommy said, his voice filled with determination. Jack nodded, drawing strength from his friend's resolve. They had to survive, not just for themselves, but for each other and those who had already fallen. The fighting resumed with renewed ferocity. Jack found himself in a desperate struggle with a German soldier, the two grappling in the snow. The world narrowed to that single fight, every muscle straining, every breath a battle. Jack managed to gain the upper hand, but the cost was high. He was exhausted, his body screaming in pain. As dawn approached, the relentless German assault began to wane. Reinforcements arrived, pushing back the enemy forces. The battered remnants of Jack's unit held their ground, victorious but at a great cost. The forest was a silent witness to the carnage, the snow stained with the price of their stand. Jack sat down, his body finally giving in to the exhaustion. Tommy sat next to him, both of them too weary to speak. They had survived the night, but the war was far from over. Jack looked around at his comrades, the faces of those who had fought and died etched into his memory. The Battle of the Bulge would go down in history as one of the most brutal and pivotal battles of World War II. For Jack Turner and the men of the 101st Airborne, it was a testament to their courage and determination. They had held the line against overwhelming odds, proving that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could endure. Jack took one last look at the battlefield as they prepared to move out. He knew that the memories of this night would stay with him forever, a reminder of the price of freedom and the bonds forged in the crucible of war. If you like this story and want to see more, click on the icon top left. If you want to help support our channel, please hit the subscribe button on the top left. If you have a good history idea, let us know in the comments. Thank you.